Day 2 of Japan Expo, which would be July 2nd. So my husband and I decided that it would be a good idea to go to the convention 30 minutes before it opened. This, in fact, turned out to be a terrible idea because every other person in Paris also had that idea. So we got there and we had to stand out in the hot sun for about 30 minutes. And it was just jam-packed. And then we finally got inside the building and we thought, yes, the end is near. But in fact, the end was not near. First of all, the line pretty much stopped. It came to a complete standstill once we got inside. And then once it started moving again, we just had to snake back and forth between these metal barriers, like forever. It just wouldn't end. But then obviously it did come to an end and we got out. But then we still had to walk like another mile to the actual convention. By that point, we were both like hot and sweaty and exhausted, and we'd only been there an hour. I really shouldn't complain about it though. I think the longest I ever had to wait in a registration line to get into a convention was at ASEN 2005. We waited over 4 hours in the pre-reg line. That was absolutely insane. So since we actually got to the convention on time this day, we had like 2 whole hours to kill, which we ended up filling with random meanderings and basically the exact same thing we'd done the day before. At 1 o'clock, we went and got in line for the Golden Bomber concert, and they were one of the bands that I was really looking forward to seeing. So we waited in line for like an hour, we ate our lunch, and then we went in, and Reagan didn't want to stand up front with all the crowd, but I did. So I went up, and I was like 4th or 5th row. I wasn't too far back. But Reagan sat in the back and he took some video footage. I'm pretty sure they weren't playing their instruments like at all. I know for a fact the drummer wasn't. He had foam drumsticks and he kept getting up and dancing. Despite that, I had a really good time. The crowd was really into it, really bouncy, which makes everything a lot more fun. After that, we wandered around for about an hour, but then they had some Japanese professional wrestlers that were going to perform. And shocking secret here, my husband and I actually watch WWE wrestling pretty regularly. Don't judge me. So we were actually kind of excited about it, and it turned out to be pretty cool, not gonna lie.
Affolante. Un garçon qui sort. Qu'est-ce qu'il va faire? Le moonsault?
After wrestling, I walked around trying to find cosplayers to take pictures of, and I just did not have very much luck. There just were not enough cosplayers at this convention. Step up your game, Paris! By that point, it was about 5:30 and Lazy Guns Brisky was about to take the stage in the live house. They were actually one of the only bands that I'd heard of prior to Japan Expo getting them as guests, so I did want to see them, and I am so glad I did. First of all, I'm sorry I didn't get any footage. I don't like to take video footage during a concert. The only reason I took video footage on day 1 was because we were just chilling out in the back. But if I'm up by the stage and I'm dancing and jumping and having a good time, I'm not busting my camera out. I'm sorry. I just don't do that. I want to dance. So I danced and it was fantastic. I was actually kind of sad though because the crowd really didn't seem like they were into the set, and I thought Lazy Guns Brisky was by far the best band of the weekend. They were so good. So fun, so full of energy. They really rocked. I was completely impressed. I'm a fan now. After that, it was pretty much time to go. The convention closes at 7. All the events ended at 6:30, so we just hit the road because we had a nice long drive. And that's the end of my convention report. Yay! 30 minutes. Oh my gosh.